Now we go to look at the different kinds of tables available in the fruit database. We can see that fruits is the only table. The sample database is gone as if it had never been there. I can't emphasize enough what a dangerous command drop table is, and how at the single command we can remove an entire table with however much data we've put onto it and however valuable that data is, wiped away as if it was never there. So we need to be absolutely sure when we use the drop table command that we're doing what we think we're doing and we're not losing any of our valuable data. The reason we used it just now is so that we could create the table again. We're going to create the table again with col1 just as before, and we're going to specify it's a char and it's going to be a size of 20. I'm going to put a comma in and add another column, and this one's not going to be a char, this one's going to be a varchar. That's going to be 20 long as well. Now the difference between char and varchar which stands for character variable, is that while char will store exactly 20 characters no matter how much it's given, varchar will store the number of characters that we specified when we used an insert statement to add some data. So varchar will take up slightly less hard disk space, whereas char will always take up the same amount however much data we put in using our insert statement. The payoff is that the char is much quicker, a char column is much quicker to access than a character variable or a varchar column. The other main types of string column that we can use are text, and we'll create a column 3, and that's going to be a text, and we don't need to specify a size for the text. Now a text works rather similarly to a character variable or varchar column in that it will store exactly the amount of data that it's given rather than adding a set of spaces at the end as the char column does to get it to the right amount. So this is a more efficient way of storing pieces of data that can be widely varying. The reason we don't specify a length for the text column is that there are a number of different flavors of text column which specify the size that the text column will take up. For instance, the text column on its own will store 64K. If we use a tiny text, then it will store a maximum of 255 bytes, which is quite a small amount. Medium text will store 16 megabytes, quite a lot of data there, and a long text will store a maximum of 4 gigabytes. So that's quite a broad range of different sizes for the text type. A final kind of string column is the blob. Blob is very similar to the text column, except that a blob column, and blob stands for binary large object, is case insensitive. So it won't tell a difference between A's and lowercase a's. A text column, that is. Whereas a binary large object will pick up all the differences between capital A's and small a's when we're doing comparisons between values on a table. That will become relevant later on. Suffice it to say for now that these are the different kinds of string columns that we can use when we're creating a table. In our next movie, we're going to take a look at numeric columns and date column types.